another Sports with Kobe show on the Misericordia Cougar Radio. I'm here today, ready to bring you back some sports news, but I'd like to first start off with congratulating the girls basketball team with their first win last night against Stevens, 56-55 dub. It was a nail biter throughout the whole way. Watched the whole game. Congrats to them, and good luck to them as they face Wilkes today at 4 p.m. Okay, here we go. We're starting off the show today talking about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And for many of you who don't know who Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is, he's an all-star third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. Great player, Guy's amazing. 2019 was his rookie year. He was runner-up in the home run derby, and he's the son of an all-star baseball player, Vladimir Guerrero Sr. And today's story on Vladimir, dude lost 42 pounds since last July, and many people don't think that's a lot of weight, but Vladimir was a big guy going into his rookie year, kind of out of shape. So he said it himself. He said, "I came into spring training out of shape for a couple of years, and to go and lose 42 pounds is pretty great. It shows that, and just to say you're out of, many people can't say they're out of shape. They deny it. They don't want to say it because it's not like, no one wants to be like, yeah, I'm out of shape, I'm overweight. No one wants to really say that. And for God to say that and then lose 42 pounds for a team shows that he's really dedicated to this team. And Toronto's got a guy who's an amazing player. Even when he was 42 pounds heavier, dude was still bringing big numbers. In his rookie year, he hit 272, 15 home runs and 69 RBIs. I mean, guy was amazing. And then to be home run derby runner-up is that's a big accomplishment too, to even be there. Most guys don't hit 15, even 20 home runs in a season, and to do that and then be in the home run derby and come up short to the great Nets player Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's a guy who was also a great player as well. So Vladimir said he came into spring training the last couple of years out of shape. So he went out, lost 42 pounds, and now he says he feels stronger and even quicker. So as a third baseman, it's a hot corner over there. Balls come flying in. Guys like Manny Machado, great over there. Chris Bryant, you got some great players who play third base in the MLB. And for Vladimir to feel stronger and quicker, it's going to be a great impact for that team in Toronto. You just got, it's just going to be, it's just going to be great for him over there. He's going to be playing even better. Maybe he can even win a Gold Glove. I mean, a lot of guys at third base won Gold Gloves. You got Machado, Bryant, many more at third base, and now Vladdy is feeling lighter. And what can you say? He's going to be quick on that hot corner now. So that league better watch out for that guy. And even on the base path, he's hitting outstanding numbers. Like I said, the 272, 15 home runs, 69 RBIs. So to even be quicker, imagine what he can do now. He crushes the ball in the first place. So to be quicker, he's going to be running those bases even faster than before. He might even try to steal. Who knows? It might let him try to steal a base in a crucial situation. So that's going to be great for the team and great for him, honestly. Guerrero dropped the weight before spring training in 2020, but once COVID shut down, you know how that turned out. No one could go to the gym or anything. Things were shut down. He gained it back, and for last November, Guerrero actually told the Dominican newspaper he apologized to his teammates for showing up overweight when they returned in last July and had their season then. So he decided to come out and lose that weight so he can help his team out even more. He switched from third to first base actually last year, and he hit 262 with 9 home runs and 33 RBIs, and even played in all 60 games. So that's amazing for the guy to just play all 60 games. You know, and even though he moved to first base, I think now with the weight loss, he could probably go back to third, play even better than he did before when he used to play third. But that's up to Toronto. They got the call on that one. And who really motivated Vlad to do this was he said he was motivated by his teammates, and the current teammates he has. You got Bo Bichette, great player, Gavin Biggio, and Tescara Hernandez. And now the team's even getting better as they signed in the free agency. They got George Stringer from Houston and infielder Marcus Seaman. And then Vladdy actually says we're going to have a great season with those guys on our team, and I can clearly see they can make a run for it, just like last week how I talked about the Padres can make a run for it. I think sure enough the Toronto Blue Jays can just do the same exact thing with the All-Stars they have now, and with Vlad becoming in shape more. It's gonna be scary for the league. It's scary for pitchers, scary for catchers, scary for anybody out there. Guerrero has been vocal. He wants to improve defensively at third. 2019, his rookie season, he actually made 17 errors, a team high, in 96 of the games that he played. And the Blue Jays now expect him to play both first and third. So that's going to be pretty great. See him at both positions. See how that turns out. Hopefully he does great at both. I really think he has a chance to do so. Because you gotta be ready for both those hot corners. You gotta be kind of flexible a bit, quick, and you gotta be strong and quick. Because they don't call it the hot corner for nothing. Those balls be coming in fast, and I really think he has a shot to do so. I really think the team has a shot to do so. So I'd say I respect Vlad for this whole thing about losing weight, literally telling his team he was out of weight, and getting back on the grind, doing what he had to do, and coming back even better than before. So I can't wait to see what he does this season. It's coming up soon. I think it starts in April, so can't wait to see what he does there. We'll be right back after this with a short commercial break. Welcome back for another segment. This one's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna talk about the All-Star game and guys who the guys who definitely should have been in it, and especially Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker really got kind of screwed over. Dude wasn't even an All-Star pick. And Devin Booker's out here averaging 24.7 points a game, 4.3 assists. His three-point percentage is 2.154, and steals per game are 0.81. Devin Booker is a baller, a straight-up baller. And to get snubbed like that, and then because the only reason he's in it now is because Anthony Davis is still hurt, trying to recover from that calf injury he got 2 weeks ago. I kind of be mad. I kind of be mad. You're not the first pick, not even one of the first 10 picks in the All-Star game, and you gotta get snubbed over. It's just messed up, especially with a guy like Devin Booker. And there's other guys who got snubbed over. You got Bam Adebayo, Mike Conley, and Trae Young. Also Chris Middleton, Fred VanVleet, and Jimmy Butler. And those are all ballers. Think about it. Jimmy Butler led his team, the Miami Heat, to the finals last year. He's balling out again, and it's just wow. Jimmy Butler's averaging 19.1 points per game, 7.6 assists, 1.84 steals, and .211 three-point percentage. Yet he's not in the All-Star game. The captains for the All-Star game this year are KD and LeBron James. For the West, you got Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Paul George, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and Zion. You got, for the East, the reserves are James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Julius Randle, Nikola Jovic, Zach LaVine, and Ben Simmons. Now, don't get me wrong, those guys are amazing players. But I think there could have been other guys who could have been in it. I mean, instead of Chris Paul, I definitely would have put Devin Booker, because Devin Booker just has been balling out. Jimmy Butler, I mean, Jimmy Butler definitely could have taken Nikola Jovic's spot. And it's kind of crazy how he didn't. I think it's just wild how these guys just get kind of screwed over. I mean, it's just crazy. The All-Star voting for the draft will be on March 7th, and Kevin Durant and LeBron James will pick their teams. Then, for Devin Booker, most coaches weren't going to pick two Suns players, and Booker was the victim of Paul's success. I mean, don't get me wrong, Chris Paul is an amazing player, amazing athlete, but I just think Devin Booker should be the guy. It just doesn't make any sense. Devin Booker has been balling out, as you can clearly see. I mean, there's other mentions, like you got John Morant. John Morant is an amazing player, helping out Memphis so well. Brandon Ingram could have been in it. Jameer Grant, Chris Wood. You got guys like that. It's just crazy to think that all these all-stars, all these athletes, and you just can't have some of them in it. And I think at least a few are kind of like should be in it. Starting lineups though for the All-Star game, you got for the East, you got KD, Kyrie, Bradley Beal. These guys have been balling out lately too, so you got to give them credit for doing such things, for playing how they're playing. They're just playing super well. You got Giannis, Joel Embiid, Kyrie, KD, and Bradley Beal for the starters of the so-called East. But you know it's going to be a draft, so they're going to pick their guys that they want. And then for the West, you got LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and Kawhi Leonard. Now these guys, I'd say the starters are pretty good, pretty set. It's just the reserves. It's always a tough spot to pick from. You know, you got guys that you think should be in it who aren't, and you guys that are in it that you think shouldn't be. So what are we to say? I mean, the All-Star voting. I think it's the people vote and the coaches. Yet these guys are getting just not getting what they deserve, not getting the credit they deserve, and I just think there should be another way to like vote who should be in it, who shouldn't. I think they should look more into it. I mean, I get it, it's just an All-Star game, but still, it's a moment that many guys look forward to. I mean, you got it's just a once in a lifetime thing playing in an All-Star game. It shows that you are like one of the top guys in the league, that the teams, the coaches think that you are a straight baller, that you've been helping your team out, you've been putting up amazing stats, amazing statistics, and it just shows that the league sees who you are and knows your name. That's what I really think the All-Star game kind of is, and it's a kind of to show your skills. I mean, they don't go hard, you know, but get to do some crazy things, like Steph Curry's throwing alley-oops to Giannis. LeBron was guarding Kobe that one year. That was pretty amazing. And Kobe was going at it with Jordan. You know, it's just a fun time to see these amazing athletes go at it and have some fun. You get to see amazing things. I think the All-Star game is actually better than it used to be in years. After the passing of Kobe, they made the All-Star game for him, where at the end of the fourth quarter, you got to score 24 points of the leading team's score. And I think that made the game absolutely amazing. You had guys trying, going at it, going hard. Kyle Lowry took like 5 charges. The only thing I didn't like about that is that the way the LeBron's team won is off a free throw. I feel like you should just it shouldn't be off a free throw. You should like check the ball up, just call the foul and keep playing. But they're doing the All-Star game the same way, which I think is amazing, and it's honestly the best it's been in years. Actually seeing them try a bit and just go at it with each other and have fun. So that's what I have for this segment right here. Another commercial break, and I'll be back shortly with you. Talk about J.J. Watt in the free agency. J.J. Watt. Let's talk about this guy, the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to free agency. Kind of glad he needs to get out of Houston. I think the same for Deshaun Watson. Both of those guys need to really try to find a different team. I mean, that organization down in Houston is just going down, just going down. I mean, last year you traded away your best receiver in DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of Skittles, pretty much. And I just think that's just wild. And you leave Deshaun Watson with no help. The defense down there is just not good. The offense is terrible. I don't know what Bill O'Brien was thinking. And then you get rid of Bill O'Brien. So pretty much Bill O'Brien just traded your team away just to get fired in week 3. And you're just left there with David Culley, the Ravens wide receiver coach, who when it comes to wide receivers is not really good. I mean, in 2014, David Culley was the wide receiver coach in Kansas City, and wide receivers down there had 0 touchdowns that year. Last year, he was the Ravens passing coordinator, and they were ranked 32nd in the league in passing. So that just shows a lot out of this guy, David Culley. I mean, it just seems like he can't coach. It seems like wherever he goes, if you're a receiver, you're not going to score. And if you're a team that likes to pass, you're going to be last. I mean, it just seems to be that way. And for J.J. Watt to have a chance to leave, it's going to be great. He has 3 teams that are his top list. He has the Green Bay Packers, which is in Wisconsin, where he's from. So I guess he wants to be kind of home. He has the Buffalo Bills, great team. I mean, if he goes to Buffalo, I feel like they have a really great chance. I mean, they just got Stephon Diggs last year, and went on to the AFC Championship. They came up short to Kansas City, but they had a great run. You got the Tennessee Titans, who have a pretty great defense. They got their whole team down there in Tennessee is pretty great. Everyone knows Watt's interest in Green Bay. It's not a surprise either. I mean, the Packers are a great team. They reached the NFC Championship the last 2 years, and they could use some help on defense. I mean, they got a great defense. Zadarius Smith, linebacker, he's a great linebacker, pretty great pass rusher. The defensive line only recorded 82 sacks over the past 2 seasons, though, tied for 8th most in the NFL. And if they add Watt to this great Green Bay team, then they have a really great chance of actually beating Tom Brady this time in the NFC Championship, and maybe even winning another Super Bowl. The Bills and Watts have shown mutual interest. Buffalo would love to have the 3-time defensive player down there. Help out with their defensive line a bit. Try to get a pass rush going. It's gonna be great down there if he goes to Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo is another team that reached the championship last year, tying a franchise record with 13 regular season victories. But they only finished with just 38 sacks last year, and that tied for 15th in the NFL. So that's not too well. As you can clearly see, teams that need it the most need a pass rusher. They're low on sacks. I mean, they got great guys in the D line, but they're just not getting there, just not getting to the quarterback. And they just need a guy like him. And the Titans are kind of a surprise finalist, considering Watt ties with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of his brothers play there. You got Derek at fullback, and TJ. TJ is a great player. You know, I think TJ could win Defensive Player of the Year one year. He's a great player. Just knows how to get to the quarterback quick. Knows how to bring pressure to any quarterback he faces. Really, I mean, even Patrick Mahomes, he can face Mahomes, Lamar, Tom Brady. He's gonna get to you some way, somehow, and make a huge impact on for a team. And it's said to be that JJ was considering playing for the Browns over the past few weeks. But nothing serious. Tennessee finished last year with just 19 sacks last season, which is the third fewest in the NFL. But Watt has a huge connection with the staff, as he was coached by the head coach there, Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was the linebacker coach in Houston for 4 seasons, and including he was JJ's coach for 4 seasons, and 2 of those is which Watt went on to win Defensive Player of the Year. So that'd be a great connection. You know, you got a coach there, you know him well. He helped you become the player you are, and you won Defensive Player of the Year as him as your coach. So that could work out very well for JJ. I mean, Watt played all 16 games last season, finished with just 5 sacks, 17 QB hits, 2 forced fumbles, 29 pressures, and just 26.5 sacks. So not great stats, not stats like JJ normally puts up. I mean, the team just had an effect on him last year, and it just went downhill over the past 5 seasons. But his 3 Defensive Player of the Awards are tied for the most in the NFL. You got Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald, and everybody knows Aaron Donald's a beast. I mean, he won it this year, definitely can win it again next year or the year after that. Watt set Texans franchise records in sacks with 101. Tackles for losses, he has 172 over his career, 282 QB hits, 25 forced fumbles, to go with 531 total tackles, 61 pass defended, 16 fumble recoveries, and Watt is also the only player in the NFL history with 20-plus sacks and 10-plus pass defense in the same season, and it happened in 2012 and 2014. So hopefully he finds a new home, and good luck to JJ. And we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back here to talk about Big Ben, supposedly Steelers quarterback. Big Ben is in a game of chicken. Supposedly Steelers want Big Ben to come back. He's 38 years old. Had an okay season, you know. Threw for 3,803 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Had a 94.1 QBR rating. It's in the works of opening up a deal with Big Ben. There's $19 million left on his contract. I don't know if they're gonna raise that, lower it, but I'm just thinking, you know, Big Ben's a old quarterback. They had a pretty good season this year. Started off 11-0, but everyone knew they're just playing bad teams. You know, just had very much luck playing the teams they did, and clearly showed that they weren't they weren't the team that showed when they were 11-0. You started 11-0. You go on, you lose to Washington. You barely beat the Ravens practice squad with Trace McSorley as their quarterback. You lose to you play your first real team, pretty much. You lose to the Buffalo Bills. They blow you out in Buffalo. Later on, week 15, you play Cincinnati in Cincinnati, and you get beat. You just get outplayed, outsmarted, outcoached, out everything in Cincinnati. You're on the verge of losing the division to the Cleveland Browns. You're down 21 to the Indianapolis Colts, and you win the division there in week 16. So they get time off, and Big Ben doesn't play in week 17. They lose to Cleveland, don't got their starters playing, Big Ben isn't playing. So they get ready, and you play Cleveland the next week in the playoffs, the wild card round, in Pittsburgh. You start off the game giving up a touchdown on the same type of play the Denver Broncos lost to the Carolina Panthers. The Denver Broncos did when they lost to Seattle in that blowout Super Bowl. Big Ben then goes on to throw about 3 interceptions that game. Now, he's a great quarterback, but I don't see how you bring him back. He's kind of getting old. He's not like Tom Brady where he's old but still got it in him. I think Big Ben's time is almost done, and I think they should let him go and try to save up to pay their young star players that they got now, and T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, you just got Minka Fitzpatrick 2 years ago, and the dude is already making a huge impact on your defense. He's making extreme plays for you. Now, if they say that Big Ben's eating 24 million cap space, but if he's willing to take a step back, they might have some room to actually give the extensions to the young guys and TJ and Minka. But supposedly they quoted that Ben is our guy. He has a contract. We'll lower the cap number. Nothing to see here. I mean, I don't know how the Steelers fans will feel about that. I feel like every other AFC North team is excited, is going to be happy to have Big Ben back. I mean, they also got Juju Smith-Schuster in free agency, and supposedly Juju wants to come back and become a Steeler as well. So I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, as you can clearly see, Juju is a character, as he danced on every team's logo, and Carmen came back and bit him as he got rocked against Cincinnati, and I think that's one of the greatest moments of the whole NFL season, seeing that happen. I mean, who could be wrong when they say they love to see Juju get rocked after he was dancing on the logo? But you got. I think it's just taking up space. I mean, Ben's getting old. He was supposed to retire, 2 years ago, a year ago. Still trying to play. I mean, the guys around the league love him. And Bruce Arians said he loves Big Ben, but doesn't need another 40-something quarterback. Panthers are desperate for a QB upgrade. Saw Big Ben as the best, but just think he's too old for that. 49ers are sniffing around for an upgrade from Jimmy Garoppolo. Ben doesn't fit there. With Drew Brees retiring too, doesn't know where to go there. I mean, the Bears got Nick Foles, but they're not looking to get a guy older than him. And then the Dolphins already have an old guy stuck with Ryan Fitzpatrick, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is making making extreme plays, as you can see what he did against Oakland. I mean, Las Vegas now. Las Vegas gets face mask pulled, chucks the ball up, they get the catch, 15-yard penalty to add on to that, win the game. And if you want to make a case for Ben, you could, but it's going to be challenging with the natural fit where he could improve a team with some meaningful hopes of competing. But Pittsburgh seems like the only place anyone could see him playing in 2021. But they got to sort out a contract because, they got to pay these younger guys. And they even have to try to get, if they want to, try to get Juju back from free agency, bring it back. So pretty much I think that this game of chicken may be a loss for Big Ben. I don't think, if he does come back, I mean, good for him, but I really think it's his time. I think he's done. I just don't see what he's got in him. I mean, I feel like in 2019, he got injured, hurt his shoulder. Everyone expected him to be done there. Everyone expected him to be done. I mean, look at the Pouncey brothers. They're retired. I mean, I think they came in almost the same time as Ben. They're both gone. So I think Ben's time is coming close up to an end. I just don't think he's got it in him like he used to. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great player, Super Bowl champion, always beating up on the Ravens, but I think Big Ben's time may be done, and this game of chicken may be lost for him. But we'll be back after this short break again for another segment. Okay, and we're back, and this segment's kind of a little. I wouldn't say dark, but we wouldn't want to talk about this, but something got to talk about. You heard about it. Golf star Tiger Woods was in a car accident on Tuesday. We're praying he makes a safe and great recovery. So Tuesday morning he was involved in a crash in Ranchos Palos, California, and he had to be taken out of the car with the jaws of life. It's something hard to think about. Tiger's a great athlete, 15-time major champion with 82 career PGA Tour wins. Great golfer, one of the best, honestly. The last time Woods played was December 20th in 2020 and the PNC Championships in Florida. Many athletes sent out their condolences, wishes. Most of them spent the whole Tuesday morning on social media, just sending out messages for Tiger. And it's hard to think about. It's just Tiger gets in a car crash. It's kind of scary, and it's a year ago. We lost the great Kobe Bryant in a helicopter crash. We lost Gigi, and we lost the many others that were in there. It's just hard to think about all these athletes who are kind of having close calls, and it's just scary. They're everyday people like us. Everyday things happen to them as well. They make the same coffee as us. They go out the same doors as us. It's just crazy to think it could really happen to anybody, really, and it's kind of scary to see. Tiger's 45 years old. He's getting up to the age of pretty old. He went for a surgical procedure on Tuesday morning on his lower right leg and ankle, and he was awake and responsive in the hospital room. So that's good to see. But what this says about his career, I would say this accident might actually be the end of Tiger's career, honestly, because he's already up in the age. He's at 45 years old. I mean, anybody can play golf. You can play golf at 80 if you wanted to. But he has a family to tend for. His younger son. He has to take care of him. I would think after this accident, Tiger would probably retire and try to just start helping out his younger son to follow in his footsteps. If you've seen it, Tiger's son is a pretty great golfer, just like his father. Kind of has the same exact celebrations, tendencies, just like his dad. He's following right in the same footsteps. I would think this might be the end of Tiger's career. It's sad to say, but something like this happens. It just might be that way. They said he suffered significant orthopedic injuries to his right lower extremity during emergency surgery, and it's a level 1. He went to the UCLA Medical Center. They said he initially suffered multiple leg injuries, injured both of his legs, and his injuries were not determined to be life-threatening at the car site, so that's very well to know. And during the accident, he was conscious, calm, when the paramedics arrived, so he was still breathing well. He wasn't freaking out. He was very, very calm, so that's well. And what Woods said to actually the sheriff's department quoted on Woods saying that he was just lucky to be alive. He was in a 2021 Genesis SUV. He was wearing a seatbelt, so that's good. For everybody out there, you should always wear your seatbelt. Just safety first. Woods wasn't under the influence of anything. wasn't drinking and driving. Wasn't under any type of substance. So that's very good to hear. Sometimes guys are always like under the influence of something, and it just ends badly. And it's not something we want to like think about, but it just happens. It's just life, and that's how life works. Sometimes it's a mystery. It's full of different things. And it's kind of scary to think how Tiger Woods has this close call, because we've had a lot of guys in the past years, and this past year actually, pass away. It's kind of sad to see these amazing athletes, all-stars we've grown up watching, just kind of vanish before our own eyes. I mean, Kevin Green passed away last year. It's kind of upset about that. You got the great coach from Temple. You got many guys just gone, but they're never forgotten. We'll always remember their historic events, their great plays. They may be gone, but they'll always forever live up to the name of the game. But it's also reported that he was traveling at a high speed when Tiger lost control of the car, and at the crash site, it's known for a high rate of accidents. So he was going fast at a known accident-prone place, traveling downhill on a steep curve, and the crash reportedly happened at like 7 in the morning. So pretty early. Tiger actually said after recovering from his fifth surgery on his back with hopes of playing professional later this year, he told Jim Nantz on Sunday during the Genesis Invitational that he hoped to play in 2021 in the Masters if he was cleared by the doctors. But we don't know what's going to happen next for Tiger. We just hope and pray that he gets well recovered from this, and we'll see where he goes from this. We're just glad that he's okay, and we hope for the best. That's it for this segment, and we got the last one coming up after this commercial break. So for our last segment of the day, we're going to talk about UNC. We're going to talk about college basketball. We're going to talk about all of it. Many of you follow college basketball, you know it's been a struggle this year for North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky. You know, the usual powerhouses of the college basketball world. But this year, things are changing, and things are going downhill for those three teams. UNC suffers a brutal loss, and their NCAA tournaments remain uncertain, but it's not looking too high, not looking too likely for them. They added a Big East team to the schedule due to some postponements and stuff on Wednesday, and it did not end well for them as Marquette went on to defeat North Carolina 83-70 in a non-conference matchup. UNC is having a 14-8 season, and they need to finish strong against Florida State, Syracuse, and Duke, who remain on the schedule. Just like them, Duke's not having a good season either. Neither is Kentucky. The powerhouse teams who usually run the college basketball world are just going downhill. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Coach Roy Williams, Coach K, Coach from Kentucky, John, just aren't having a great season. But the loss against Marquette is big, as Marquette's not even likely to make the tournament, as they're 11-12, and they need to win. They need to win out in the Big East, which that's clearly going to be won by Villanova. And you also have Creighton in there, who are the top two teams in the Big East, playing well. You know, Villanova's got James Earl Robinson, Colin Gillespie, Justin Moore, just playing lights out. And then the ACC, it's not looking too hot for Duke and North Carolina, as they're just dropping games left and right to teams they usually just don't lose to. It's kind of crazy what's going on with these guys. In the standings, it shows here Florida State is 10-2, ranked 11th. North Carolina and Duke are pretty behind. I mean, they got to deal with Virginia Tech, two teams that are having great seasons. Virginia Tech's a surprise to me, being this good. You got UNC 6 in the ACC, 2.5 games behind. Duke is 2.5 games behind as well. And upcoming, UNC has Florida State, Syracuse, and Duke. So that's going to be a huge game between Duke and UNC. I mean, yeah, Duke and UNC, to see who has the better game, the better chance of making the tournament. Last time the two teams played, North Carolina came out on top, 91-87. And Duke's got to fight too. They got games against Louisville, who's pretty high up. Georgia Tech's not having a too bad season, and then UNC. So they're gonna have to play really well if they want to have a chance at all to make the tournament. Kentucky, on the other hand, the SEC, it's not looking too hot for them. The tournament's not looking too well, and if they're gonna make the tournament, they're gonna be like the last four in. So the last four in is pretty much you're gonna be a very low seed, like a 11, 12 seed, and you're not gonna have to do a play-in game. Which a play-in game is you're the last four out. You're even like a 12 or an 11 seed, and you gotta have a play-in game, and whoever wins that play-in game is in that seed for the tournament. Now, UNC, that loss is their quad 3 defeat of the season, first quad 3 defeat of the season, and bracketology has them as the last four in, but it's going to be a struggle, you know, with these last 3 games coming up. Duke's having the same problem, probably going to be the last four in, but has to play lights out if they want to do anything well, have anything go their way at all. And Kentucky's the same way. Kentucky has game against Florida, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, but it's not looking too hot for Kentucky. They're 8th in the SEC, 5.5 games behind. You know, you got Alabama is ranked 6th, having a great year. Arkansas is playing great, and it's just not going to be a well for John Calipari, for Coach K, or for Roy Williams. And that loss Wednesday actually denied Roy Williams his 900th career win, so that's kind of upsetting. You know, you got a game that you should probably win. 11-12 Marquette team, not too good. You drop that, don't get that win. In that game, they forced 19 turnovers. And held them to 5 of 18 shooting from 3. Now, no team's winning with 19 turnovers. I mean, if you win with 19 turnovers, that's God's luck on your side, because I don't know what to say. 19 turnovers, and you're supposed to be a powerhouse in your conference, a powerhouse in the college basketball league, college basketball world. That's just terrible, really. Just bad. So these 3 teams are kind of on a tight schedule here to try to win out, get something going, and maybe Duke and UNC has a run in the ACC tournament, gives them a shot to at least have a chance to go to the dance. And I feel like if Kentucky drops another game, they're done. John Calipari's team will be done if they drop another game in the next 3. And it's gonna be fun to see how this one goes. These 3 teams haven't all been out of the tournament since this will be the first time since 1961, and that's a long time. 1961. I mean, most of us weren't even born. I know I wasn't, but to see that happen is gonna be wild, and to see what actually goes out and win this thing is going to be even better. It's going to be fun to see if those 3 teams aren't in, and to see who takes over and shocks the world. Well, that's all I have for you today. I'm Kobe with your sports news on the Cougar Radio. I'll be back here at 3 next week. I'll see you then.